is a formal report? For the answer to this question and details on the required components of a formal report, please watch this 11-minute video. For more information on the differences between an informal and formal report, please watch the What Are Reports video. Formal reports are reports that have been packaged and formatted formally so that they can be distributed widely, including potentially to high-level or high-stakes audiences. In addition to the report itself, intro through conclusion or recommendations, formal reports add a series of components before the report, known as front matter, and after the report, known as back matter, and bind the whole package together professionally. We'll look at each of these components separately. Firstly, the binding. Formal reports are bound with a transparent plastic cover so that busy executives don't have to lift the covers of dozens of reports to find the one they're looking for. They use a hard plastic backing to give them weightiness, and they are either Surlux or spiral bound. The picture on your screen shows a Surlux bound report. Surlux binding allows for pages to be changed out, although the process is a bit time consuming. Front matter may have up to 5 components: title page, transmittal message, table of contents, list of illustrations, and executive summary. The first front matter component is always the cover or title page. What this page looks like and what information it contains will depend on the organization's standards and practices. Most textbooks demonstrate a sample cover page. The key here is to very carefully and exactly imitate what you see in a sample cover page you're provided, changing only the relevant details for your report. This is actually the most important skill you'll develop as you learn to create business documents, since the expectation in each business environment you enter will be for you to be able to do it their way. Therefore, learning to observe and carefully follow a pattern may be the most important business skill you will ever develop. Following the cover page, a letter or memo of transmittal is loosely inserted into each report. It's not bound with the report. This is one part of the report that is customized for each recipient. Its purpose is to transmit the report to a particular recipient. It's a letter if the recipient is external, or a memo if the recipient is internal. This document adds a personal touch by informing the recipient why he or she is receiving the report and what the report is about. It should include the following information organized into logical, short business paragraphs. The letter or memo of transmittal should follow standard memo or letter formatting rules and should be sent from all of the authors of the report. Senders' names can be listed, separated by commas, in the Your Information or From elements, depending if it's a letter or a memo. In a letter, names can be spaced evenly across the page in the sign-off element. Try to make this look as neat as possible. If placing first and last names on separate lines for the sake of space, use tabs to ensure that they are vertically aligned. A line above each name to indicate where to sign is also a good idea. The next component of the front matter in a formal report is usually the table of contents. This should clearly indicate the headings, subheadings, and sub-subheadings, if applicable, within the document, exactly as they appear in the report, including any applicable indentation. Use leader lines and right-aligned page numbers showing only the first page on which each section begins. It's helpful to use the Microsoft Word Table of Contents feature to create this component. A sample of what a table of contents should look like can usually be found in most business writing textbooks. If the document includes illustrations of any kind, a list of illustrations should also be provided. If there's room, this can be placed immediately below the table of contents. If not, it should be on its own on the next page. Each figure or table should be listed by label, number, followed by title, with leader lines leading to right-aligned page numbers on which the illustration appears. You can list these either in the order they appear in the report or in two separate lists, all figures in order and then all tables in order. Again, a sample list of illustrations can usually be found in most business writing textbooks. The final front matter component of a formal report is the executive summary. Like an abstract of a scholarly article, this component summarizes the entire report: purpose, methodology, major details such as problem and solutions, conclusions, recommendations, etc., as applicable. Executive summaries should be no more than 10% of the length of the original, up to a maximum of 1 page. Busy executives will generally say, "Too long, didn't read," if they see an executive summary extend past 1 page. Make sure that the executive summary is clear and easy to read, but that it uses the same formal language as the report. It should not be personalized in the same way that a letter or memo of transmittal is. Following the front matter, the report itself will begin on a new page. A typical report will contain these 3 or 4 standard sections. Please see the videos on what are reports and problem solution recommendation reports for more detailed information on the required content of reports in our course. Some key formatting principles to note for this section are that the content within the body of the report should be continuous. Each section should begin on the same page unless doing so would create a widow. This is unlike front and back matter in which each component begins on a new page. If visuals are included in the report, they must be labeled, numbered, and titled. Most business writing textbooks provide details on how to do this and show examples. Make sure to place each visual as soon as possible after the textual discussion of what the visual shows. Following the body of the report is the back matter. This most commonly consists of references and an appendix or two, although other sections, such as a glossary, may be added as well. As with front matter, each component of the back matter should begin on its own new page. Reference information should be formatted following the rules of the citation style being used. For example, if using APA, the word references should appear at the top of the page, the content on the page should be double-spaced, the entries should be alphabetized, and each should use hanging indentation, not block layout. In general, in business documents, follow the rules of the citation style for citation content, in-text citations, quotes, reference entries, etc. But do not follow the document formatting rules of that citation style. Instead, use business document formatting rules. Appendices are an optional element that provide information that is nice to know, but that is not essential for achieving the purpose of the report, or they show content that was too large to include in the body of the report. Not all reports include 1 or more appendices. If needed, each appendix should be labeled with a letter, A, B, etc., and given an appropriate title. This label and title should appear in the table of contents as well. There are 3 other key formatting rules to remember about pagination, consistency, and headings. For pagination or page numbering, the convention is to number the front matter after the cover page using lowercase Roman numerals, and to number the body of the report and the references using regular numerals starting at 1. If appendices are included, they're numbered by the appendix label and regular numbers starting again at 1, for example, A-1, A-2, etc. In order to achieve these various page numbers in one electronic document, you will need to use section breaks. These allow you to control each section separately. The page numbers are generally placed in the footer of each page, either centered or on the right margin, although you should follow the pattern demonstrated in your textbook or provided by your instructor. Consistency. Using a consistent layout, usually block layout as the most modern professional choice, is very important. Also, make sure that you use consistent spacing before and after headings. Consistency in general is the most important formatting rule. Your font, size, text color, etc. should not change throughout your document. If you include lists in your report, please make sure you use your word processing software's bulleting functions. Lastly, it is very important that the headings in the report follow the rules of heading layout. If you have not done so already, please watch the Using Headings video for more detail on this important component of reports. You may find it helpful to use your word processing software's Styles feature to ensure visual consistency and distinction for each of your heading levels. Using this feature will also make it very easy to create a table of contents for your report. So, what have we learned? Formal reports have a number of specific components that are added on to the body of the report itself, grouped into front matter and back matter. All of these components are bound together professionally with the letter or memo of transmittal loosely inserted. Pages are numbered according to the various sections of the report, and consistent and professional document layout and formatting choices are also very important, along with the effective use of headings. Applying these principles will ensure you produce a visually attractive and professional report. For more information on creating effective content within that report, please see the videos on What Are Reports and Problem Solution Recommendation Reports. And for more details on how to effectively format headings, please see the video on using headings as well. Thank you.